So today I get back on the road again for a short road trip that's going to at least encompass Mount Marcy, which is New York State's high point. But first, we're making a stop to check out my alma mater, which I haven't been back to in almost 20 years. Unfortunately, the South Campus Student Center is closed for the weekends in the summer, but I spent a lot of my time in there. So I'm not certain exactly which one it is, but this is definitely the building where I lived first when I was on South Campus, I think my sophomore year. So I'm pretty sure it was that. Now, after that, I'm entirely certain that that was it right there. That was definitely it. And those birds were just waiting to confirm it for me. So that was the Manley Field House when I was going here. But it looks like they renamed it, and I'm not entirely sure what was here then and what has been added, but I wanted to come down this way. I definitely feel slightly connected to this part, although it definitely wasn't here when I was here, but he became a name and won us a championship while I was here, and it was one of the greatest sports and school experiences in my life. Them winning the national championship was just undescribable and really a once-in-a-lifetime kind of thing, going to college and having your school win, unless you're UConn or Duke or whatever. But I feel connected to this even though I don't know it. But we're headed down there because that's what I'm really connected to. This is where some of my classes were and all of the stained glass classes that I took. So this is the place where I discovered my passion for it and ended up focusing quite a bit on it in my life. So this is the spot where the day I was leaving, car packed up, heading home, I stopped here, and my favorite professor, my stained glass professor, who I will remain nameless, I know it's been a long time, but who knows, gave me a stained glass grinder to take with me. And it's one of the biggest reasons, if not the biggest reason, and undoubtedly the biggest sign that it was something that was going to be important in my life and something I would need to revisit. And I still am using it to today. So that was a big moment right here for me. So unfortunately, that used to be my favorite pizza place of all time, Acropolis Pizza, which I went to constantly and really wanted to go and get a slice today, but not gonna happen. Despite what that says up there, which I never noticed before, that it says college for women, but I definitely had a lot of art classes in here and there were plenty of guys, so I'm obviously assuming that was a relic of long days gone by, but I never noticed that. It never hit me. I must have been like so focused on one step ahead of me, and by that I mean so with blinders on to what my experience was and what I was going through and all of the newness and all of the intensity and all of the overwhelm and all that, that I missed key things like that maybe I saw back then and it didn't register, but I just saw that now and I was shocked. So who knows, maybe those brain cells were killed a long time ago, I don't know. You know what's super crazy? I just got deja vu walking in this area here in the back of Kraus, which I wasn't in often, but walked through it a couple times. But I've had so many dreams since then that take place right in here, and I didn't know what the location was until I started walking back into it. That was the weirdest thing. Oh my God, it's so fucking weird. I'm definitely dressed for the occasion. And there she is, the JMA Dome, otherwise known to me forever as the Carrier Dome, which had few, but every single memory was unbelievable there. From winning the championship I mentioned earlier in the video and seeing it on the screens in there, because it was obviously not played in there, but all of us were in the stadium and rushed the field when it ended and ran over to Marshall Street, to watching Syracuse Virginia Tech with my family, and that's a great memory that I have with my dad. So it was only a couple times, maybe 2-3 times that I was in there, but every time it was well worth it. So I'm walking backwards to the quad, which is actually something that I didn't really do that often. I didn't really hang out in the quad. That wasn't really a thing me and my friends did. Not sure why, but I guess we were doing other things. I don't know, drinking or smoking in house or something. I don't know. But got some tents. I don't know what's going on there, but looks a lot smaller than I remember, I'll tell you that much. So I only went into Hendricks Chapel once, and it was to see the director of my favorite movie give a talk, and I got to ask a question. Wes Craven, director of Scream. I got to see him talk in there, and it was really a good talk. I don't even know if I learned anything, but it was good because I got to see him really close up, so that was cool. So this building rounded out the top 3 in terms of buildings that I had classes in. Comstock, Krause, and Schaefer were the three main buildings for art students, or at least for me and my electives with all my art classes. So a lot of time spent in that building, a lot of time. So the one shame part of it is that I'm here on a weekend and most of the buildings are closed, probably for summer anyway, but definitely all of them are closed on the weekends. What I am noticing though is all the spots that I would take breaks and smoke cigarettes. Like Schaefer, like right there, where that bench was in Comstock at the opening, underneath that overpass, whatever it is. Definitely a spot to be smoking cigarettes. I was stressing out. It's just really funny to look back on that stuff and just kind of see yourself back then. It's bizarre. It's the first time I'm doing it in 20 years, so it's definitely bizarre. So you would have no idea that I'm doing this, nor would you really care that much, but I like coming full circle type moments, and I started this video with actually what I experienced towards the end of my 4 years in Syracuse. And I've kind of worked my way back in reverse to the beginning. That's the beginning. Haven Hall, the toilet bowl, dorm room. Upperclassmen typically, but my year they were testing things out and had put freshmen in there as well to mingle. And it was definitely an experience, and met people that kind of, kick-started and pretty much lasted through my experience here. So let's check it out again. Tell me you see how it was called the toilet bowl dorm. I mean, it's quite clear, right? Oh man. Definitely very nostalgic and makes me emotional. A lot of good and a lot of bad, started here for me. And yet I wouldn't trade it in for anything. And it makes me so grateful that I did get to start here. It's weird. It's a weird combination of, push and pull, but really glad that I can see it again and say goodbye to it, because it's probably the last time I'll come visit, and this was an important place for me. So, okay.